said it. Wheat for rubles. They've just said that the Russian government has just said that that's exactly what they're going to, what they're doing. There's actually a decree being prepared by the Russian government to be put together and given to Putin for his signature. So that's probably just weeks away now.
All right, a final question. You mentioned how Erdogan needs to play nice with Russia because things could get very bad on the domestic front with Turkey and their economy. Does Russia, or can Russia, or will Russia, are they even thinking like this, the Kremlin? Are they thinking along the lines of the UK and Germany are in a vulnerable position? Let's do X, Y, and Z to nudge them closer to the edge of the cliff? Or is Russia, or is the policy in Russia more along the lines of, they're in a circular firing squad, let's not do anything and just leave them to it?
I think that initially it was very much they're in a circular firing squad, let's leave them to it. I think as the Russians have become more angry, and as they also realise that the more steps they start taking, and they're making very minor steps, but they're consequential ones, I think that they're starting to realise the power this gives them. And the breakthrough, the moment when, as I said, they grasped the extent of their power was gas for rubles. When all the European gas companies came and did all that the Russians wanted, opened all those accounts, and the European Commission, which tried to stop it, was humbled. That made the Russians understand that they have the whip hand in this game, and that they can therefore afford to tighten the screws ever so gently, because even though it's fun to watch the circular firing squad in action, tightening the screws reminds the Europeans of how much power Russia has. I'm going to give an example, a very quick example, which is the Kaliningrad crisis. Now, it turns out that Germany and the European Commission are now piling on the pressure on Lithuania to reverse its blockade on Kaliningrad. And there's apparently a decision which has now been agreed and dusted out, and it's going to be implemented, apparently. And the Lithuanians are very unhappy that they've been apparently pushed finally into backing down. And the reason is, I'm sure that this is the true reason, is that the Russians have been saying, if Lithuania continues with this blockade, we will block all railway access, all railway access into the Baltic states. And by some calculations, if that happens, if they can't act as transshipment places for Russian goods, Chinese goods, and Korean goods, and all those goods that pass through Russia, that could halve the size of some of these economies. Now, that is a disaster, which, of course, the Europeans don't want to see, and that's why they're coming along and telling the Lithuanians, for God's sake, in your own interests, ease off on this. So, as I said, I think the Russians are starting to get a sense of their own power, and they're testing it. They're doing a little bit here, a little bit there. Sakhalin 2 was another example, seizing Sakhalin 2. If the Germans can seize Gazprom, Germania, why can't we do the same with Sakhalin 2? So they're starting to do all of this, and they're testing, and they're seeing how far they can go. And now, of course, they've gone one step further, a big step further, which is wheat for rubles.